The psychological pathos of Raskolnikov, the mind behind crime and punishment. In the sweltering, crowded streets of St. Petersburg walks a man haunted by his own thoughts. His name is Rodion Romanovich Raskolnikov, the central figure of Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. Once a brilliant law student, now a man consumed by poverty, fever, and dangerous ideas. His story is not merely about a crime, nor about the justice that follows. It is about the deep, agonizing path of a human soul torn apart by guilt, pride, and the longing for redemption. The name, Raskolnikov, itself comes from the Russian word Raskol, meaning split or schism. And that single word captures his entire being. He lives in two worlds, one of icy intellect and one of trembling conscience. To his mind, the world is divided into ordinary and extraordinary people. The ordinary obey moral laws. The extraordinary, men like Napoleon, rise above them. In this theory, Raskolnikov finds justification for a terrible experiment. He tells himself that killing a greedy old pawnbroker, a woman he sees as a parasite, could free him to do good. But beneath that philosophy lies not strength, but desperation. The cry of a man trying to prove his worth to himself and to a world that has ignored him. When the axe finally falls, something inside Raskolnikov breaks forever. In one blinding, frenzied moment, his theory becomes reality, and his reality becomes nightmare. The murder scene is brief, almost mechanical, but the aftermath stretches endlessly. The moment the deed is done, the world turns hostile. Every face in the street seems to know. Every knock on the door sounds like judgment. Dostoevsky gives us not just the act of murder, but the birth of guilt itself. The real punishment begins not with handcuffs, but with conscience. Raskolnikov falls into a fever, both physical and moral. He paces through the narrow alleys of St. Petersburg, his mind a whirlpool of logic and horror. One moment, he glorifies his act as proof of greatness. The next, he is consumed by nausea, terror, and self-loathing. He isolates himself from everyone, from his mother, his sister, his friends, trapped inside the echo chamber of his own mind. Dreams and reality begin to blur. He hallucinates, relives the crime, and argues endlessly with himself. We, the readers, or the witnesses, see a soul unraveling in real time. A man who thought himself above morality, now drowning in it. Dostoevsky makes us feel that guilt is not an emotion, it's a living presence. It stalks him, breathes beside him, whispers in every corner of his room. In this darkness appears a light, Sonya Marmeladov. She is everything he is not. Humble, selfless, guided by faith rather than intellect. Forced into prostitution to save her family, Sonya endures her suffering with quiet dignity. When Raskolnikov confesses his crime to her, she does not recoil in horror. She listens, weeps, and forgives. Through Sonya, he glimpses a truth greater than his theories, that redemption is not earned through greatness, but through compassion. That love, not logic, is the force that can heal the human soul. At last, Raskolnikov confesses, not out of fear, but out of exhaustion. He wants to be free, not from the law, but from the lie he's been living. His punishment in Siberia is not the end, but the beginning. There, in the cold silence of the prison camp, Sonya visits him. She brings with her a small Bible, a symbol of hope, of rebirth. Slowly, Raskolnikov's hardened heart begins to fall, through suffering, through love, through the acceptance of guilt. He begins his transformation from pride to humility, from death to life. Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment is not just a story about crime. It's a study of the human conscience, the invisible prison we carry within. Raskolnikov's psychological pathos reminds us that no mind, however brilliant, can escape the pull of morality. His punishment was not his exile to Siberia. It was the long journey back to his own humanity. And in that journey, we see the eternal struggle of the human soul between guilt and grace, intellect and love.